My Lords, I am in awe of all the previous speakers, and I acknowledge their huge experience and knowledge of this particular issue. I did particularly like the Noble Lords Lancaster and Randall sort of shaking out their green petticoats. I think it's absolutely amazing, and respect for that. On this, in this group, I support both of these amendments very, very strongly. The amendment from Lord Berkeley is in fact almost the root of the Green Party's opposition to HS2, well, the first part in any case. And Amendment 4, of course, Amendment 9 is also important, highlighting HS2's detrimental impact on ancient woodland. And we did hear an awful lot of guff about how ancient woodland can be replaced and that sort of thing. They'd be taking soil so that we'd have the same soil and the same biodiversity within the soil and that sort of thing. It's all complete nonsense. Ancient woodland is irreplaceable. And I particularly like the Noble Lady Young's comment about Salisbury Cathedral. It is exactly like that. These places are special. They are not all the same. They're all unique, and they need to be cared for and protected in a way that HS2 seems absolutely incapable of doing. Because, of course, it's not only ancient woodland that's being damaged, it's also sites of special scientific interest, precious habitats being sliced up, which means, of course, without the necessary size, they may not be viable anymore. And so it seems to me that the environmental impact of HS2 is so huge. Why do we find it acceptable? And how in the past have they got away with doing so much damage? And how can we stop them doing so much damage in the future? I think that if you add to this or the spiraling costs, it becomes an obscene project, and we really need to have a very hard think about it again. But if it's going to go ahead, then statutory reporting has got to be mandatory. I don't understand how they get away with it. And all right, every 6 months, absolutely fine, but let's make sure that they do it properly. And of course, the reporting should include rigorous assessment of the mitigation and replacement measures which aim to reduce the ecological footprint, ecological impact. And I must say, I don't trust HS2 to do their own reports. So at some point, it has to be a trustworthy report to make sure that they are not doing worse than they've done already. I am highly sceptical of many of the measures they've already used, and the Noble Lord, Lord Randall mentioned the trees in the Colne Valley, and there are thousands of newly planted trees left to die. And I don't understand how we can be sure that HS2 won't do exactly the same again. Not exactly that, perhaps, but something very similar. They can't be trusted with our precious habitats and our precious species and our amazing biodiverse habitats that they are just carving up. So please, will the government make sure that they are a bit tougher on HS2 than they've been so far?